in Nigeria when those kidnapped victims in Orire community of Oyo State were rescued safely by the security agencies. And, even though lives were lost during the rescue mission, people have commended the federal government and other security agencies for coming together to work as a team to rescue those victims. But beyond the joy of the moment, what are the lessons for us as a country, and what do we do as a society to avoid or prevent a repeat? We have joining us for this conversation, Darlington Umoru, Global Security Analyst. It's our pleasure to have you.
My pleasure to be here too. Good morning.
Okay, indeed, it was a Good Friday, like I said earlier. The kidnapped victims of Orire, after 56 days, were rescued safely by the security agencies of the country. But beyond the joy of the moment, what are the background factors that you think were responsible for the success of that operation?
Well, to the glory of God, for the first time we're discussing successes. And you did say in your opening that it was a Good Friday also. Indeed, it was a Good Friday. Indeed, we saw the good work for the first time. Indeed, some of us are echoing what happened on Friday to also push fears into the hearts of those criminals who would want to push fears into our hearts, into the military and into the government. You want to say fear? Yes, fear was the reason why a teacher was slaughtered and the video was pushed out and many shared it instead of us to kill that video and not share it. They want people to know about what they are doing, the nefarious act, the dastard act, which they are pushing to the rest of us. One of the things they want to achieve is to instill fear in all of us and also try to do that to government and the military, where panic will become the result at the end of the day. But back to your question. For once, well, some will want to say it's hard work, strategical planning, and maybe people giving out information. But beyond all of that, we've always known that our military and other security agencies have been up and doing. I've said that here, time without number. And I've talked about how our military have gone out of Nigeria to take part in other international missions, and they got back with recognitions, medals, and whatever. But in this country, the question you ask yourself is that why do these same men fail or not achieve the kind of successes they've recorded over time?
All right, I think it was on Friday morning, or yes, we had read the defense minister saying that a lot of caution needed to also be put in place to ensure that whatever they were doing was successful, and it was much later in the day that this story broke. So if we going back to what the minister had said and looking at the coordinated response of the military in that rescue mission, how then can you look at the synergy? Because I know that many times you've also said there's a need to work together as a team, and this is not the time to say this is the work of the police, or this is the work of the army, or this is the work of the Air Force. So these joint efforts by the military and other security apparatus in this particular rescue mission, vis-a-vis the minister earlier saying that they needed also to tread with caution because the abductors, what are they called now? The insurgent had said if they came nearer, they will be killed. And so when you look at such efforts, and I know many times you've also looked at different approaches. So if you look at all of what went down before that Friday, how then do you talk about the capacity of our military?
You see, one mistake, it's good you ask this question. I talked about it this morning on another station. You see, one thing I really do not appreciate, and I won't appreciate, is the fact that when successes like this are recorded, people begin to look at other areas. People begin to claim other things. Like, for instance, a media person told me somewhere yesterday, they wanted me to also feature in their program today, that they gathered also that ransom was paid. Ransom was paid by who? By the Oyo State government. How true can that be? That is a way, that is by means of taking away from the success recorded by both the military and other security agencies, like you have stated. Now, I told us something, and I'll say it here, and the military said it also. Let us look at the issue of ransom, whether ransom was actually paid to this terrorist. The issue of money was not a part of the kidnap, was not one of their reasons for kidnapping those children and the teachers. Right. They did tell us to say what they want is a swap.
Right.
Give us our commander, whom you have taken into custody, and then we'll release the children. Right? The army, there are two words often misused at times like this. One is rescue. One is release. They do not mean the same thing.
Absolutely.
The only point at which they met is that the victim is out of custody. That's the only point where those two words meet. Rescue meant that they were taken out by force. And people may have gone down in the course of achieving that. That we saw in this case. A lieutenant died. He was shot. He didn't die there.
Right,
he was taken out. And then eventually he lost his life. That lieutenant, perhaps many didn't know, didn't die on that day that operation took place. We have strategical persons, intel, who will first go, search the area, discover where those children and the people who abducted them are. Now, something the abductors will often want to do, and I use those persons as human shields.
Absolutely.
In the course of when the military come. They either use them to cover themselves, and sometimes I've often said this. One of the reasons why it's been very difficult for those same military who got medals outside to achieve the same thing when they come here is the fact that they cannot blow up the entire place with long range missiles. Okay? The first thing they have in their minds is the rule of engagement. Now, the focus is the persons that have been kidnapped. You need to bring them back safely. Not one should be injured. So it meant that the men who will go there, whether the DSS, whether intelligence unit of the military, whether the police, and all of that, that will search that place, find out where they are, and then see how to separate the abductees from the abductors. These two must be put in place very well. And then the men who will come to hit will also be told. And that's why a commander will always lead them and tell them when to release shots.
Right.
Now, in all of this, they must be done tactically well. What will the use be when you go there and then these children are killed? God forbid. And so these are strategies that must go on over and over and over. And then departments must take each part and they must corroborate. That's why it's not as if that day was when they were discovered and then that action was carried out.
Took a while.
It took a while from You even saw when the lieutenant was shot. You even heard when those people made comments to say, the closer you come,
the dangerous,
it becomes. For those of them we are having in our
custody.
So it takes a lot. It's not as simple as the people outside would ordinarily want to say. People are beginning to introduce
other dimensions.
And wanting to reduce the hard labor
of the military
that the military put in to get. If you, somebody said on a statement that it is not true. If it were true, why were the children looking the way they were looking? Are you saying that if you took some of these persons in custody, you will not feed them? We have seen situations when they have told people to say bring food and bring money. What was the food for?
Right.
They know that those food is not for them, so you cannot even poison the food you're taking to them. And so what exactly does the average terrorist want? He wants you to blow up his ego and power, to say no, they didn't do it. And then the military, they were only trying to play to the rule. Otherwise, people who slaughtered a human being live posted the video that you also posted out there. And then you got to them and then still arrested some of them and brought them back.
Okay. Even in our moment of joy, what are the...
Our moment of joy, you call it?
Yes, because we are happy that those children are back. Even in this moment of joy that we are, what are those realistic lessons for us to take away from this incident as a society regarding security around our schools and those communities that are close to the forest?
I think we discussed this the last time I was here. The last time I was here, we talked about that. What has government done about it? What has your government done? Whether state? You brought another man here with me the last time. We talked about this same thing. You see, I have stopped talking about solutions on televisions. Because each time I talked about solutions, sometimes even the persons those solutions are supposed to be used against, they listen to it. And then they work on it. So, of what use will it be when we come here to say the same thing and begin to sound like broken records? I have stopped that because it has not helped us. We also talked about a project that the government put in place.
The Safe School Initiative.
For schools. This whole brouhaha started from the days of Chibok in the administration of Jonathan. What solutions have you gotten? Are you saying that if elections could hold in Nigeria, I'm talking about general elections now, the nooks and crannies are not covered? Are you saying those nooks and crannies that are set aside for elections are more than the number, are fewer than the number of schools you have in Nigeria? Are you also saying that if those persons could get materials for elections, that people will go to and vote, that these schools could not be identified and be protected? Your children, my children, many of their children don't go to those schools.
Right.
And so some of the parents, I'm sorry, Abimbola, and some of the parents of these children are even said that they are not sure that their children will go back to school because of their safety. Jesus Christ.
Chief, let me come this way. Perhaps sorry, again that is quite emotional for you. Let's come back to the fate, of course, of the security agencies.
If you want to know, sorry, ma.
That's fine.
If you want to know what the implication of this question you asked meant, go and ask a woman that gave birth to her first child at 42 years, 43, 45 years. Go and ask the woman who is struggling to have a child. Go and ask that same woman, having struggled for over 30 years looking for a child. She went through the doctor's recommendation and got a child and sent that same child to school. And then the child is taken. Not those who have money, who can afford it. They get children, they get birth to children easily and sent them abroad to school. They have the means.
All right, Chief, let's come back to what happened last Friday. A lot of video in circulation before the particular, before Friday, how, a lot of intelligence happened, how build up to what happened, even though you had mentioned that slightly, but I want us to look at this for future purposes. A lot of Nigerians still felt that some of those videos were doctored. A lot of them felt it was politics at play. A lot of individuals felt, would our military had gone through such an ordeal to have carried out this feat? Now, my question is, was it necessary to have released those videos as a build-up to what happened, even though we still have many people puncturing those videos?
Let's talk about terrorists and the media. The media is very essential to both parties, the terrorists, the government. When I say the government now, I'm referring to the state actors and the non-state actors, the terrorists. One of the ways information could go from you to me is through the media.
Right.
Irrespective of what it is. It's easier now with
social media.
Right.
The terrorists, when they started with Boko Haram many years ago, some Nigerians concluded that they were not actually Nigerians. Because we, the village Nigerians.
Right, average Nigerian.
No, village, there's difference between average and village. We are used to enjoyment. We are known for enjoyment. Do you understand? And so anything, when you saw a dead man somewhere, sometimes it's difficult to want to pass there. But today, if people feed in the midst of dead people, killed. Now, the terrorists knew that one of the tools they needed was the media. One of the tools they needed was the media to circulate information and achieve their aims. And so they cook up videos. They have a department. If they could, within themselves, manufacture equipment, at least the small arms and light weapons.
Right.
We have seen that. They know the kind of information that could put fear into you. And so they needed it. They work on it. Sometimes you want to ask yourself, why would people doing the kind of businesses that those people are doing still have time to record? And then, through technology, they push it out. And you and I will circulate. This is this. Let me send to my sister and my brother. Have you seen this? Have you seen that? The message they want to push into you is there. That is phase one. Phase two, you have people who do not like you, whether in government or in military, who want to see you down at all times. Sometimes they see those videos, they say, yes, this is it. This one is not doing this one is not doing that. They help. You saw it. And then some will doctor it. Why do we need all of that? We do not. We do not. But when the military achieves, those two classes of people, they don't even get to see some of them. Because those who help to circulate don't even do it. Because it says well about the strength, capacity, and capability of the military. The same us is our brothers and sisters that are in the military, or friends. not foreigners, right? At the end of the day, that fear that the average terrorists want to push into us is got into, that's why they can hold a human being down with cutlass and slaughter him. What you ask yourself, what is the essence of this? So that when you hear next time that they are coming, or they are taking your person, you say, oh, let them not slaughter my person. No, you run helter-skelter. The same set of people, man, were giving out money the other time. Did you hear it? They posted, and people responded, and some got. Blood money. So that is the power of the media. I have often said that sometimes what we see here in this country is helping what these people are doing. Even the media, I have often also said that the media has not done enough to push fear into those people in return. The government, Mr. President said from the beginning when those children were kidnapped, that not one kobo will be paid as ransom or should be paid. And in one of his broadcasts, he did say, if they don't hand over those children, they should be ready to face the rot. And then the same thing we're talking here, madam, that some people are already questioning the release of the children rather than celebrate it. Already saying all kinds of things, posting all kinds of things. I did a story yesterday. Okay? And then people are questioning it. It should have been me. Why must it be him? If not him, why should it?
Okay.
Right. Is this how are we ready to fight terrorism? Fighting terrorism is not the business of the military alone. The military, I have said here, sitting down here, in between the two of you, that is not the business of the military alone. Because they are no spirits. You have to see something and tell them. You have to be watchful of your neighborhood. What is the human capacity of the military in Nigeria? How many are there?
Okay, we have also alluded the success of this rescue mission to interagency collaboration. But then, during this rescue operation, some officers lost their lives, and some are still in the battlefield defending the territorial integrity of this country. So what should government do for those that these officers left behind that will further serve as an encouragement for those who are still fighting to defend this country?
Welfare. When Mr. President won election for this term, when he met with the chiefs, the former chiefs, and when they briefed him, one of the things he said was that welfare of the military men and other security agencies, other intelligence and all of that, will be welfare. Their welfare will be very well taken care of. Yes, Mr. President did make that statement, and some of us held it to heart. Once upon a time when Boko Haram came into being, soldiers were given what I describe as sticks in place of guns. You remember a time when our soldiers had to be escorted into Nigeria from Niger Republic. They didn't even know the map. They lost their way. And they were escorted by lesser soldiers into Nigeria. It became news. Right? It became news. Today, the average policeman buys his boots, he buys his uniform. Take that through to the military. The Minister of Defense, shortly before those children were rescued, talked about what the least person in the military receives as salary. It was 49,000. And then raised by this government, this administration, for the first time to 100,000. 100,000. A man is ready to place his chest for bullet, to receive bullets on your behalf. The most dangerous job to do in the world is to put your pen to paper to join the military, where you wear the uniform, where you do not have a say of your own. You go to the forest, you stay there for days, months. No roof over your head. What are they fed with? 100,000. That man is expected to have a wife. The same man is expected to have children. The same man is expected to have dependents. The same man is supposed to be the breadwinner of the extended family. He could have a mother. He could have a father. You are paying him 100,000. He might not see his wife and children
for months.
For upward of 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. Quote me. I say it in anger. Sometimes, I just think some of these things should not be talked about. What would, you talked about 70,000 naira as minimum wage. Go and see the way soldiers are taken care of in America. Go and ask your Nigerians who are serving in the military in America. Go and see what they eat. And then go and see what your soldiers are eating in the battlefront. And then you say Lance Corporal should be paid 100,000. Go and pay 100,000 to those in the National Assembly. Go and pay that to senators and pay that to legislators, the House of Reps members. Go and pay them 100,000 and see if you will have that again. If you will have that tier of government again, that third tier of government, if it will exist, you are paying a Lance Corporal, and then you give him equipment. You say, go and face the enemy who is ready to take out his life on 100,000. Your guys won the World Cup, Nations Cup. How much did you give them? Please. Please, when you ask me some of those questions, I feel sad as a Nigerian. But you must ask.
Absolutely.
You must ask so that Nigerians should listen and hear and know. The Minister of Defense said it. I'm glad that he added a caveat. So even though it's not enough, this administration for the first time increased it. How? Where? You allowed it. The whole world listened. And he heard. And then the man, the youth, you want to join the military. He heard it. That what they will be earning
is 100,000.
It's 100,000 naira. And then you said, the man who went through all through schools, went to ND, when he finishes, he'll be paid 500,000 as an officer. What will 500,000 do for him? How much was used, even though it's on scholarship? My dear brother and sister, are we doing the right thing in Nigeria? Is this how to fight terrorism? Now terrorism is spreading from the north, northeast, north central, northwest to south. Southwest is what we're discussing this morning. And they slaughtered people. And then you talked about those who may have been killed in the course of rescuing those innocent children. What has government done to the schools to help forestall happening of such in the future? Nothing.
Right. Hi, Chief. Let's quickly look at a report.
I praise Lagos State. They have a lot happening. Some we can't even talk on TV for schools.
Okay. A report, that was released yesterday. We also read that this morning. putting the number of insurgents that troops killed in the month of June at 274, with Nigeria recording 882 attacks only in the month of June. Vis-a-vis the number of people that were arrested during that operation on Friday, it was put at 8. So if you put that, the number of troops killed, the number of attacks in the month of June, to only 8 people arrested during that particular operation on Friday, and the fact that, with the picture you've painted this morning, how we are fighting insurgency, and sometimes, again, you hear things like plea bargaining or people saying they will leave their arms for amnesty. Are we truly ready for this fight?
Are we truly ready for this fight? The rule of engagement. What are we doing about it? Every war in any part of the world has 2 approaches, the kinetic and the non-kinetic approaches to resolving it. Now, one thing I have often said, in this country is the fact that your constitution is not Nigerian. Have you been able to draft rules and laws according to your customs and traditions?
Okay.
What you inherited. Go read when you were to get your independence. Books were pushed in. This republic, when you set up the National Assembly, books came from all other countries of how their constitutions and all of that. Many of what you are practicing today was what you inherited from your colonial masters. And so, whether you're ready for this war or not, you need to fashion out rules that will suit
our system.
Our system, homegrown.
Not just your system, your people.
Okay.
The Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons took over from Prescom, right? Do you know that it's now that they are trying to reform, change what punishments for people with small arms and light weapons when caught should be? Go and check what is there before. Go and check. Sometimes you say somebody stole a chicken, he's condemned to death. Somebody stole
billions,
10 billion naira. You say, come and do plea bargain. Bring back how much you could. And go. How many chickens would you find in that amount? Your laws need to be revisited. Many people have been condemned to death over time. Oshiomhole is the one governor that signed for somebody to be
executed.
Are you aware? All those who are governors who have been coming, is their responsibility finally, after the court would have done justice to cases. Do you know how many terrorists are standing trial? Do you know how many terrorists have been tried? Go and check the number of years they have been jailed. When they pick soldiers, one thing is uppermost in their mind:
to kill them,
to take their lives. When soldiers see them, soldiers will arrest them and bring them back to you to prosecute.
And we'll give them amnesty.
And either you give them amnesty
or not,
or you tell them you tell the youths who are watching that they have repented, and so they are free to go.
I'll say no more.
These same persons, these same criminals who will kidnap people for money. Sometimes they kidnap, you pay them, they still slaughter those people. Is that not right? Your laws are the right. Go visit your laws. Go back and look at your constitution and tell yourself the truth. We have not told ourselves the truth in this country. We have not. And we need to. We need to tell ourselves the truth.
Right.
We need to tell ourselves the truth. Yet, every 4 years, we go to the poll, in the rain, in the sun, to vote certain persons into the National Assembly, to vote certain persons into the state assembly houses.
To make laws.
What are the laws meant for? The poor man suffers. I rest my case.
God rest the fella's soul.
All right, it's a fine place to actually leave this conversation this morning, and I think this will be the first time that High Chief will rest his case as we close the conversation on the program this morning. Hi, Chief, it's fine. I saw what you did there, but don't worry.
The camera is not even showing me. Okay.
Thank you for joining the conversation this morning. We'll take a quick break. When we return, the conversation continues.
The views expressed on this program do not represent that of the producer, management of Lagos Television, or the Lagos State Government. They remain the perspectives of those expressing them. Thank you for staying with Lagos Television.
When malaria knocks you down, you can be sure parasites are having a party in your system.
Welcome to our new kingdom, guys!
Comel, an effective weapon against malaria.